Good morning. Your personality, your being, your identity, your entity depends on what you are. Are you the same what you were when you were a child? Do you have still the same freedom, the same spontaneity, the same I give a damn attitude? Do you have the same attitude of fun, spontaneous, passionate, inquisitive, trusting nature? Do you have still the same curiosity? Or have you bidden goodbye to all that was within you? Have you grown? Of course you have grown old. But have you grown up? That's the most important thing. It is not the calendar years that count. It is growing up mentally, intellectually. That's important. I'm fine with growing old. But I may not be fine with growing up. Now here, growing up has two dimensions. One is that you develop a keen sense of discrimination. You come to have your values of life and you know how to discriminate between what should be and should not be as per your values. Again, let me be very clear, these are your values. Growing up means that you can think for yourself. Growing up also means that you can take decisive action. Growing up means that you are no longer credulous and you exercise your judgment in its entirety and are responsible for that. You are accountable for your actions and you take pride in saying the buck stops here. You do not shy away from your responsibilities and at the same time you do not shift the blame. You have the moral capacity to face the consequences. In other words, you are no longer childish, throwing tantrums. You see, the biggest problem with the growing up is that once you grow up, you assume a new role, the role of being a parent. And we forget that parenting is just a role. It is not what we are really. Growing up, I have been talking about the positive thing, what you should be. But what normally happens is that growing up means that you're growing old and at the same time you are silencing the voice of the child within you. The child that looks at everything with wonder, with curiosity, with intent to know. And with every passing year, with every passing month, with every passing day, with every passing hour, with every passing minute, with every passing second, you become more cynical, more boring, more jaded, more unenthusiastic. You know what you have done is in the process of growing old, you have silenced that part of your psyche, your personality, that is pure fun, which is spontaneous, which is positive, passionate, inquisitive, curious, and also trusting. The trust gives place to cynicism, disbelief. And with these laws of the virtues, the positive ones. You at the same time do not have the capability to discriminate. You know, people have started using the word discriminate very badly. Discrimination is an extremely capable quality. Discrimination does not mean that you reject a person because he or she is black. Discrimination does not mean that you reject a person because he or she does not dress or talk the way you do. Discrimination does not mean that you shy away a person who doesn't eat and drink like you. Discriminate essentially means your capacity to seize up a person, seize up a situation, seize up an opportunity, then evaluate it. It is a process of critical appreciation. You know, there is a proper Hindi word for it, and that is called vivek. Your sense of discrimination is a sense of judgment with responsibility. And that is what you are lacking. You know, when you grow up in calendar years, you are losing one major thing, and that's your inner child. The child, that part of your super hug, tight, appreciative of every quality. Now what happens is that's the essence. If you have today, say at the age of 30 or 40, not gone out in the middle of the night, looked at the sky and see the star-lit night and cannot enjoy the beauty of that, you have not grown up. When the dark clouds come up in the sky and you cannot appreciate them, you cannot grow up. When you go to a beach and see the waves dancing, and you cannot become a part of the wave, you have not grown up. You are in a forest and the solitude doesn't fill you with a bliss, you have not grown up. The wonder of the creation is an important part. Similarly, the curiosity to know, absorb like a sponge, are the major things that are a part of your psyche. And in the process of growing up, you are losing them. You see, we always tend to differentiate between childish and childlike. Growing up means discarding childish, but keep on being childlike. Added to the childlike qualities, you add the sense of discrimination and judgment. 90% of the people, or more than 90% who meet me, they have grown up. They have become parents or the grandparents. And none of them has the capacity to judge properly. They have preconceived notions. They have preconceived ideas. And because they have been taught that way, they judge it. You see, the most ridiculous aspect of your sense of discrimination is, my teacher used to say so, we used to do like that as children. That means you have not really grown up. You are still rooted in the spot as a child. You are still a child where you have to go by the dictum of your father and the mother without questioning. So growing up means keeping your childlike qualities, but at the same time enhancing those qualities. The biggest quality of a child is the spirit of inquiry. He'll always ask why, and question why is it so, why is it not like that. And when you're growing up, you always bid goodbye to that spirit of inquiry. And that spirit of inquiry is the base of the sense of discrimination, the judgment. You don't want to know. And in a process, you are transmuting your stupidity and ignorance to your children. Growing up, unfortunately, has come to mean getting up, having grey hair, being called a father or a mother, being thought to be a boss, a rich man, a landlord, material possessions. I'm not decrying them, they are important. But then, are they the only part? The more important part is your capacity to sensibly discriminate between what is right and what is wrong. And that you cannot do till you have that childlike sense of curiosity. Not only that, you need to have that spontaneity and that passion. The spontaneity and the passion will make you believe not only the joys of life, but also keep you young mentally. Keep your soul young. Keep your mind young. And believe me, the people who have that spirit of spontaneity and passion, the people who have that sense of fine judgment and discrimination, they do not suffer from Alzheimer's. Because the brains are active and positive. When you grow old, you assume that you have to play the role of a grown-up. I've seen people saying, "Arey, itne bade ho gaye ho, aise karte ho? You have grown so much and you are still working and behaving like that." As if growing up means that you stop being a human being. The most ridiculous aspect of the growing up is that you do not remain a human being. A human journey is a journey of quest, journey of finding out, journey of truth. And you cannot have that till you have the childlike qualities of being inquisitive. Why it is there? Why should it be there? Could something else have been there? Would not that have been better? Many times when the child asks a question, we silence the child saying, "Well, come on, you learn it slowly." No. You are crushing him and making him grow up in your mold. As a matter of fact, you should learn from your child. And here is the fact that child is the father of man. A child can teach you more than you can ever teach a child. In the process of growing up, what I suggest is you revisit your old child, the inner child. The inner child whom you are ignoring, putting to sleep, and maybe even slowly and steadily killing. The greatest joy you would find be when you resurrect that child, make that child wake up, be alive in you, and coupled with the sense of being able to take decisive action, take responsibility, say, "Yes, I am a free agent. I have free will. But I also want to find out more. And by my being a free agent and exercising free will, if I have taken some action, I stand by that. And I take full responsibility for that." Don't hedge away either from your thoughts or from the consequences of your actions. Your running away shows that you belong not to the race of the human beings, but to the race of canines. Human beings do not run away, canines do. Human beings don't take the responsibility, canines don't, animals don't. They try to shive away, except the animals like lions and tigers, they take the responsibility. At the same time, growing up in calendar years without growing up mentally and intellectually is like a dead body, nails and hair growing. You know, when a person dies and you bury that person, the nails will still grow, the hair would still grow for some time, not for a very long time, but for some time. So you are like that dead person mentally. So grow up in a multidimensional aspect without losing your child in you. Let the child grow as well within you with additional attributes. Apart from being a child, he becomes inquisitive mind. He becomes capable of taking action and standing by that. That is the way real growth is. Try that and your personality, your psyche would be much more powerful, much more impressive, much more worth emulating and following. You will like it. Thank you.